Hello my 7 deadly sins family and friends, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a quick look at Sector 7 and this hard notification or warning is no joke. I have had very little time to do testing on lower potential characters unfortunately, but I will do my best in the next coming days to showcase this for you, but be warned, it is very, very hard, and there are some really annoying mechanics which make it even harder, let alone how much damage that these bosses do. So without further ado, let's go into the boss fight and let's have a look at what they do, and I'll explain their kind of mechanics hopefully. So as you can see, we've got the life crystal golem here and the ore golem or the gemstone golem here. This is the one that you need to look out for. He spawns multiple like ore gem crystals of different colors, and depending on the color it does something different, and this is the annoying bit out of it. Also, even if say you've got Elizabeth's ults, or if you're using Axe Escanor with his like reaction immunity, these ones can still stun you, and even your iframes in your ultimate, they can still stun you. It's got something to do with it being an elemental attack. So I really don't know why, the exact reason, but you can still be stunned. So let's go in, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to basically shield so then I don't die. And you can see the attack. So he does this big cone attack. They both kind of do that, as you will see. They both have that cone attack. And now look, he's spawning these crystals, and there's different colors. So the orange one, when it explodes, it does crit defense down. That purple one, when it hits, if we look at the life crystal, it reduces defense, but it's a very small cone in a single direction. But as you can see, it's massive, and this one is 50% as well, which is massive. So as you can also see, we've got some crit resistance down there as well. We must have missed one of the crystals, and this, I think that's when you see a ring of crystals, and when they get hit by it, or when you break it, it will reduce the crit resistance. And these affect both of you and them. So if you get hit by it, it will affect you. So this is the one you need to really watch out for. This one, the blue one, it does damage over time to you, and as you can see, it pulses, it does healing to them. This is the one with the crit resistance, right? Now we can see there, look, the crit resistance down, 6 stacks, minus 20%, and this is the one that heals, the blue looking one. So that's the different sets of crystals that can be spawned, so that you need to be really, really careful with. So if you see this blue one, you want to make them so they're no way near it. But if they've got an orange one or a blue one, get them over here, so when it explodes, boom, you can reduce their crit defense by an absolute ton. And then with the other one, the like the purpley looking one, to reduce their defense as well. What makes them spawn it, I have not been able to figure out exact ways they can spawn it, other than being far away. So he's going to do another one. Here's another orange one. So you basically want them to come over to the orange one. You're going to hit it. It's going to explode on them, and then you can go ham and do a lot of damage to them, right? But yeah, if you can stack both of like the crit defense down from the crystal, and all of yours too, but mainly the defense, because it's 150% of defense, you will do a lot of damage. It's obviously very hard to do. It's very manic being able to do this, but if you are low potential, it's probably going to be your only way of dealing substantial amount of damage. But look, if you see here, look, they're getting healed up a lot, right? Because they've obviously got a lot of health, and they get healed up a lot. So I have seen someone do it really fast actually with the P4 Escanor. and they were able to abuse these crystals and have a bit of luck. You know, it is a bit of luck. So then they got the crit defense down and the defense down just to basically do half their health with Escanor's overheat ultimate. And it was actually quite nuts, right? So there we go. That's that one done. That's that one done. They're obviously healing though, which is kind of annoying. So they've got a double heal, as you can see. Let's see if we can do some sort of damage with whilst they've got the debuffs. And they don't have the other debuffs anymore. It's just a shame. So I can't really showcase that. But yes. And because of this, because their defense is lowered so much, and their crit defense is lowered so much, this is, I think, as well as their crit resistance, so everything, crit resistance down, crit defense down, and because you want to burst them as much as possible, as fast as possible, as in dealing a lot of damage, you'll most likely want to go with the crit build in this instance. I know I didn't talk about the crit build with Sword and Shield Escanor in my most recent video, but I'll tell you why. So let's get out of it and I'll tell you why I think it's going to be probably the best option in this instance for this sector. So if you don't know, in each Timespace Junction sector, certain characters get buffed. And the way you can see it is if you start and then you go quick set here. And you can see the buffed characters here. So we've obviously got Escanor, Meliodas. These are probably going to be your main DPS if you have them. We've also got Guila and Merlin. Merlin probably won't be doing too much damage. He's going to probably be supporting and bursting if you want to use her. And Guila, again, I guess you suppose you can use her as DPS, but mostly could probably be used with the fire damage shield or also bursting. But this is the big thing down here. Each of these characters get 20% more attack, 20% more defense shatter, and 20% more pierce. So it's highly unlikely, or a lot lower chance, that you're going to get blocked for one. You're going to be having a lot more attack. But this one here, I think, is very, very important. 20% defense shatter. So basically, from my understanding, at least for these blue sectors, the shatter resistance of these bosses is 20%. Purple one, I'm hoping it's 20%. I'll have to look into that and I'll let you know. But if it is 20%, that means that using these characters, it means that they have no, like the defense shatter and shatter resistance have cancelled out. So because of that, if I go into Escanor, instead of using this armor, the armor set that I showcased, or even this armor set I was showcasing, I was doing this because I was doing the Gallon speed runs and I wanted a bit more consistency with more crit chance. But a full greedy ruler set to get more crit chance, crit damage, but even more crit chance. But this defense shatter, you're going to get 22% just from the set bonus, and then from the ring, if you have, if I can find it here for you, because I've got so many rings, not that one. This one, 30, you get 5% extra here, so that's 27% defense shatter, or an extra 1% here, so that's 28% defense shatter. If you're lucky enough with a 160, just base is an extra 7%, so that's 29% defense shatter, and if you get a better bonus than me, it'll be super, super good. And I know I said I was going to make a video on this, but it's really, really complicated to get some exact numbers, and I wanted a little bit more time before I did do a video on this, so I have more data to tell you guys. But an okay way to think of what defense shatter does, once you have cancelled out the enemy's shatter resistance, so anything above their shatter resistance, which will be all from this set, think of it as an extra 3% of damage per 1% of defense shatter. So because we're going to get 22% from this and then an extra 7% from this, that's nearly 30%. So just for ease of math, say we've got 30% defense shatter. That means running this whole set, just from the defense shatter, we're going to be dealing 90% more damage, which is absolutely crazy. Okay, so whoever you're running as DPS in this game mode for this sector, I would highly recommend you run the full raid set to get this defense shatter, and of course the crit chance of crit damage is going to be really helpful and really boost your damage up as well. So if you decide to use Sword and Shield Escanor, which could be a very good choice because it gives you survivability, but even if you use the axe, I think this will still be the best case scenario. But let's say you do Sword and Shield instead of the Breath of Glory, because we're not going to want to stack up this and do lots and lots of basic attacks. Really, we want to do big hits and then repeating the big hits from the normal skill and the ultimate. You would definitely want to switch over to a Black Flame Shield. Okay, I don't even have one, so unfortunately I can't even showcase that. But that way your crit damage is up a lot. You can get some good rolls in it as well, and you probably won't burst, you probably won't get the extra attack percent and the crit chance percent, but still the amount of crit damage you get from it is super nice. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. Now, if you've got a decently high potential Meliodas, especially if it's P10, you have probably the easiest time to clear in a very fast time. The only caveat is it is heavily reliant on either doing a bit slower and making sure you have Elizabeth's ultimate on the field, because if you didn't know, even in her base kit, her ultimate gives reaction immunity. So yes, you can still get stunned by their elemental stun attack, but if they're doing all these shard attacks, the cones, having the shards come up from the ground, that will supposedly knock you back, this will prevent it. Or if you really want to get a really fast time, you're just going to have to pray that the RNG is on your side, that they're not going to hit you whilst you're doing your big combo. And if you're wondering what that will kind of look at, or look like, my apologies, have a look at my successfully speed run with my Meliodas. I got 26 seconds. You could probably do it quicker if you didn't, if you had a bit more RNG luck on your side than I did. But this is kind of what you can look for. So have a look. So this is kind of crazy. I couldn't find the recording of my previous 26-second run, so I thought, okay, fine, I'm gonna have to record another one for you guys. Hopefully I can get a close time, even if it's like 30 seconds, it's still like a good showcase. And then I got this absolutely insane run. If you saw, it spawned the orange crystal and stuff on top of them, so that's how I was able to shred them so fast. They spawned the crystal on top of themselves. That we're going to debuff them, which was massive. Another thing I would like to note is the Dark Chaos earrings. If you have level 3 of that, what could happen is you combo ult, and as you're doing your nuke damage, it's going to drop so fast that your ultimate is still on the ground, your combo ultimate is still on the ground, and it will refresh your burst so you can keep spamming your skills, which could be really helpful. But anyway, it took me a lot of tries to accomplish this, because you're heavily reliant on the RNG, you're heavily reliant that they don't like heal or whatever, or they don't knock you back, because I'm not using any ultimate to not get knocked, right? And of course you're going to need to have a very stacked Meliodas to do it, but it is possible. Now, if you were going to use Sword and Shield Escanor, let's have a quick try to see how we go, and I would probably recommend Elizabeth 100%. If you have her, use her. She's going to be so good for this. She's going to boost your damage up. She's going to reduce the damage you take, reduce the enemy's defense, and she's so good with the defense for Sword Shield Escanor. Hauser, absolutely fantastic. If you've got Drake, you could probably use him too, just to basically get rid of all of their defenses and crit defenses. But obviously Daisy is a very good option as well. If you don't want to use Drake, you've got Hauser built and you don't have Daisy, a Manny will suffice. Okay, so let's see what we can do in this scenario. And yeah, so let's get to it. One thing I would like to note before we actually go through the barrier is, because of their changes to try and stop people exploiting the pre-buffing and then going in and just having like all the buffs when you start the fight, they've basically made it so that the only way you can use food is in this blue circle, and then every time you come into the blue circle, all your buffs are wiped. So say you've got a really poor RNG run, you use your fruit and meat pie, have a really poor RNG run, you don't die but you back out and you come back in, this will be wiped. So you're going to be going through a lot of food. But yeah, without further ado, let's see if we can get a decent run.
The sun erupts in me, a blaze I can't contain. Each step ignites the earth, each breath a crown of flame. You charge in iron rage, twin weapons crash and spin. You leap to crush the sky, but you will never win. Feel it rise, feel the heat, the one. Strike again, face defeat, the one. Escanor, I command the flame. Escanor, bow before my name. Break yourself on light, every strike erased in fire. Escanor, I rise higher. You slam the shattered ground, a storm of iron blows, relentless in your rage, but still you never close. Ritter burns alive, the sun within my grasp. One swing will end your war, one breath will be your last. Hear the roar, watch me climb, the one.
So there we have it. Probably could have done it a lot faster if they stayed grouped. And also something that was very annoying, if you saw there at the end, and I just do not understand what's going on with the boss's hitboxes, because it was charging this massive attack that was going to do a line of these crystals that stuns you, and it did hit me once. Maybe I got sucked in, but I was behind him. I was nowhere near him with Hauser, as you could see, and there was no like hitbox that was aiming towards me. I was literally behind the boss, and I still got sucked in, and I still got stunned. And I'm having real issues, so I'm not sure if it's because of my ping or if others are experiencing this. So if you have been experiencing this, do let me know. But I do think that if you have the Black Flame Sword and Shield, you would probably be doing more damage than me now that we're focused on doing bigger crits, and more focus on the defense shred and the crit defense shred. But yeah, it's possible as P4. I know it's possible because my mate, he's also on the SEA server, and I hope I pronounced that name right. He's a YouTuber. He also does some fantastic videos. He showcased a P4 Escanor do it, and he did a ton of damage using this same setup. I talked to him a bit, and he's a really nice guy. But unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have access to a P4 or very close to P4 units. I think I can get something to you in the next couple of days with some free-to-play accounts that I have access to. My quote-unquote alts, if you like, to showcase this for you, hopefully. But with that being said, you can kind of see how the fight plays out in action. That's not like a speed run, but you're still being able to go through and deal the damage. You saw how I got them towards the crystals to lower their crit defense and their defense. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to aim the purpley one because it's such a small cone in general. But yes, pull them away from that blue crystal. You'll have a so much easier time if you pull them away from that. But yeah, I wish you luck, and I will, it's hard. It's meant to be hard, right? I don't think it's meant to be something that a lot of free-to-play players are going to clear with 3 stars. I've even seen people struggle with higher potentials to get 3 stars. They are getting 1 or 2 stars. But one thing before I go, and I do hope what I've showed has been helpful, but something that could be quite fun, because we don't see this a lot. I've lost my 50/50s so much that my Guila is P9, right? She's P9. The P10 really doesn't do much, right? It's just like a dot around you, so I could get that if you wish, because I've got a selector. But if you want to see a Guila showcase, because I don't ever see Guila, to be honest, all I see is Escanor for fire, maybe Merlin, and then Meliodas, right? So you don't see this. So if you'd like for me to have a go with Guila, Lance as a fire DPS to clear this, I know you probably won't have high potential, but still, it could be a fun thing to do. Please let me know in the comments. And I'm happy to use one of my SR selectors to get P10 if you would like that as well. So do let me know. But regardless, I'm sorry I don't have a P4 run for you or low potential run for you as I usually do. I just haven't had time, and getting access to my alts has been really tricky today. But yes, I hope this has helped. If it has, consider leaving me a like and a subscribe. And in my next video, I'll be announcing the giveaway as a show of appreciation for me hitting that 1k subs. But yeah, until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and cheerio!